So this is going to be one of those times where I'm just going to talk to you guys and let you guys know the situation. So yesterday I was trying to talk to you guys about everything, and I tried my best to talk to you as much as I could about the whole situation, but I had a little, like, just a little tick or something like that would bother me. I don't know what it is. I got to take a look at that. So right now, Amy went to go get the dentist, and I'm just here. I'm waiting. Pretty much, just got back from work. I give you the whole 9 yards of the story. I was telling you before about like what happened. My daughter and I, we all went to my two daughters, when I did the trip from Albany, and I did a trip also with regarding the trip regarding coming back with the whole car thing. So I just want to give you like a quick update as to what happened and just kind of bring you up to speed so you guys can fulfill what happened. See, the thing is this, right? I was like of the concern and of the consideration of wondering about whether or not like this guy had lied to us, or had and realizing that he really didn't lie to us. He really shared with us the information, and he did tell us the God honest truth that he did had the right papers and stuff like that, able to pass it. The problem was with the DMV. The DMV, what they gave me was the runaround, because and I just realized I had to kind of look through all the paperwork and do the paperwork properly, and not to mention there's one part of my part where I had to kind of just fill out more paperwork, but also there's a part where really honestly he should have got the title. I as much as I want to just kind of just take the blame for everything that went wrong, I also want to say that what, had he got the title for me, I wouldn't have to have gone to the DMV 5 times, right? Each time I went to the DMV, the first time I went there, the lady didn't even look at the work. She just kind of like just said that you can't do this unless you have a title, and the person has to get a title. And that's kind of the whole reason you go to DMV anyway, is to get the title. Anyway, so what happened was like when we went through the situation, we found out that there's like that they didn't understand this stuff, and I didn't understand stuff either. I just went in there because we've done this several times. When we had our first car, we had to get the title for the first car and the second car and all the other cars that we've ever had. And so pretty much to year to date, this is let's see, I guess was it the 5th car we've had. We had in the beginning, we had the I had a Oldsmobile. I had a Buick LeSabre. Amy had an Achieva. After that, we had the Plymouth Voyager, and at the Plymouth Voyager we had our Dodge Caravan. That's the one I just got in the car accident with. And after that we got the Dodge Caravan. We also got the Dodge Caravan, and then this one is the Dodge Caravan 2010. So this is a 2010 Dodge Caravan. It's a Grand Caravan, so it's a big one. It's a biggie. It's the one that's pretty much the big one that's in regards to the situation there. So this car here, and so what happened between us getting in the car and us driving the car, it was about almost 20 days, because we got the car on actually no, today is the 27th, so it's my sister's birthday. So happy birthday, Gilly. It was her birthday. But for what happened was we got the car on the 1st. And so between the 1st and yesterday, the 26th, it took us about 26 days. But like from the let's subtract 7 from that. It's 26 minus 7 days. You're looking at 7. You're looking at 9. So it's about 19 days. You're looking at about 19 days or so, right? Yeah, about 19 days is how long it took for us to get this car all dealt with all this stuff. Because each time we had to go to DMV, you had to schedule a DMV appointment, and each DMV appointment, they didn't have their information, they didn't know their stuff, and because they didn't know their stuff, I had to learn the stuff so I could tell them. So anyway, so that's pretty much what happened. That was the short and long of it all. So yeah, and then we started finding out different things about the car. One of the things that we found out was the check engine light went off, so we're going to see how that works out. So right now we're in Manhattan. This is the first trip ever to take this car across the borough and into Manhattan. And I don't know. I think there's a couple things that had to be looked into further with the car. I think it was a really quick sale. I really probably should spend more time looking into it. And so overall, my feelings for the car, I gave it like a 7 out of 10. My other car, I gave it like a 9, because our car had no troubles anymore. I mean, it had troubles, and finally we had gotten the fuel pump fix. That was a big trouble in terms of our gasoline thing. The fuel pump started to go and started giving us faulty lines in terms of our gas level and stuff. So what ended up happening was we didn't know exactly how much gas we had. We couldn't run out of gas. And then so the final time we ran out of gas was in front of our friend's house. And there's a long story there, but we're really grateful for our friend Lori and Vito. And anyway, long story short, just said that. And so pretty much just want to say that our car was operational on the way up to camp. We never made it to camp, and that was our vacation week. So we had to make do with the vacation that we had. We had to come back and then deal with the car. It was Philip. A couple of our family members helped us, and they gave us a hand to get a vehicle back. Thank you all for your support. And there are many people who help support us. I have something special for all you guys who helped support us financially on this trip. everybody who did something, they get something. I just want to say thank you all for those who helped us financially. And I know maybe no one's really watching this right now, but those who did help us and who gave, I got something in the works for you guys. So just know that you have something coming for you guys in the mail soon. Anyway, long story short, that's one of the things I just want to say, that that had it not been for the gift of friends and prayer and all that, and people praying for us and really caring about us, and then the kindness of strangers, we wouldn't have been able to do this thing. So we were able to survive, and now we have our car. And as you can see, like I was showing you yesterday, here's like the roof is all nice and good. The other one had like a bad roof, it was all droopy and stuff like that. This is a good roof, a newer car. So this is 2010 Grand Caravan. It's about 137,000 miles. My other car, we were all over 202. When we got our other car, it was already like 158 or something like that, So this car is a car that's driven, I think maybe it was maybe it might have been a taxi in its past life, I don't know. But whatever it was, now this car is ours, and all the headache and heartache and trouble goes with it is ours too. So for the most part, though, that's kind of where I'm at with this. So yeah, I can actually talk without using my masking tape. So that's something there. So I just wanted to say that. Just want to thank God for all the people who helped us to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the doctor and get checked out. What my thing is, get some blood work and stuff, and make sure I'm all right. Just had a long day at work today, and I thank God for the job that I have. It's a really cool job. I work at the airport, and I like the job because it gives you the time to think and time to plot and to plan, as well as to kind of like, when I'm done with that job, I can go and work on other stuff, like my other projects, my sculpting and everything is that as well. Well, because of the fact of the nature of the beast, I have been doing less. Like last couple of weeks, we've had the had no car really to drive to a night market situation, and so we couldn't really set up base camp. And then also, the other car started doing all kind of stuff too. So all the different events I was hoping for, including the beach, we haven't gone to the beach at all this year. So we're like, well, with my son Titus and I, we did go to the beach. But as for like the whole family hasn't gone to the beach. We're supposed to go to the camp and have the lake swimming, and also go visit some friends. A friend of ours who does body painting and stuff like that, and all that, and just weren't able to do any of that because the car totally acted up. So with that said, I just wanted to say that yeah, I can actually talk without masking tape in my hand. I've been doing that for years, but it's kind of like one of those things where, when you really think about it, it's really cool. I guess something for you guys to look at what I'm talking, and you watch me make something in the process. So that way I'm not just talking and missing the opportunity to be able to share and talk with you guys. So anyway, yeah, so this car, we just put some gas in it, and it's a pretty cool thing. So you wonder what's in the back. What happens is we actually find different things. Like for example, we find like Amy has this thing where it's called I see Jerry Erickson Tada, right? T-A-D-A Tada, Johnny Erickson, right? Tada, because her last name is Tada because she married a Filipino guy. And what happened was that she is handicapped from her neck down, right? Because she wasn't going to be a swimmer. Long story short, and what happened was that she has a program for people who have this is not a sponsored program or anything like that, but what happens is she has a thing for for people who have disabilities, for example, back breaks, and they have a thing with wheelchairs, right? Wheelchairs, where you can give wheelchairs to the different people, and they can take the wheelchairs and give it to a person who doesn't have a wheelchair. And so that's kind of like a wheelchair donation program. So we do that. We find out where those donations are. And my wife's really big into that, and so that's something there. So I never really did it personally. I was always kind of like just a chauffeur or something to help her get there, but it wasn't like something that I did on my own. Because somebody did my own is different, but for the most part, though, that was one of the things that she did. And so we have in the back a wheelchair that we found that someone was going to throw in the garbage, and so we took it and we're going to give it to either that organization or another organization that helps people who have situations where they're have a handicap, or people who need wheelchairs, and that wheelchairs available, so you can donate that to them. And it's pretty cool, pretty cool stuff. So yeah, so for the most part, I have a lot of works to be done. I have many gifts and many things to give back to some of the people who helped us. Kind of surprised, but they don't know. Some people know. Those who know. Those who don't know, if you don't know, then you pretty much But if you know, you pretty much know that you're gonna get something for free. And yeah, so I'm putting out a labor of love and just pretty much trying to say thank you. And I got a couple more commissions. I got a commission yesterday for I can't tell you all the details about that, but the one I did for Manu. His lady, her name is Manu Toigo, Toigo, and she was on the show Naked and Afraid, and so it was really cool. There's a whole long story there, but her doll that we had, right? Her doll that we had, and I made for her, I was gonna mail it before we went on the trip, right? So right before I went on the trip to go to upstate, before I got into the car accident in the other car, we were gonna mail her package of her to herself over a little small, little version of her to herself over in where she lives. And anyway, long story short, what happened was like we didn't for some reason. I guess because we're getting really closer and closer to stuff we had to do. So we ended up taking her on a trip, and we got into the car accident and everything like that. So we had her with us in the car accident, and so I made a movie of that. So I every so often I take a picture of us and the family that's going through, and I take a picture of her doll, her sculpture that I made in masking tape. And so it was really cool because now that has you've always you like a chance where you have a fan and you're a fan that you admire on television, and you get a chance to meet them. But now you have something that's of worth and of value to them, and something of value of me too as well, because it was like my family went through the situation, and as we went through the situation, it was one of those things where she got to be part of the situation too. Not really necessarily her, but something that's going to her has had the essence of our situation and struggles as a survivor going through that. We had to survive the car accident, the 180 degrees. We had to survive all the different things regarding the stuff that we're going through. So yeah, it was one of those things where so you give somebody a present that was like a gift. It's like you have this journey, right? And this thing where it's like a journey, and as you go on this journey, you take something that you're with and you give it to the person. Somebody said that you have it like it says that half the present is getting the present, and half the present and half the gift is the journey to get the gift. So when you have this scenario and situation, you're kind of faced with a thing where it's like, there you are, there you have it. You going on this trip, and this person is coming with you as you're going to the post office, And it's not just to the post office. It's like your adventure. You have to go to the hotel, survival in the hospital overnight. You have to get a taxi and know where you are. You have to go get the car and bring it from the shop. And she was there too. Go get the car from the shop, and from there you got to bring it back to the thing. So so it's like it's one of those things where we always had her with us. Even though it's not really her. It's like So then when she gets when she got the statue. The statue of sculpture that we made, she really appreciated it and she took it on her journey too into the wilderness. So she took that journey with her sculpture into the wilderness too, and that was really cool. So it's kind of like the journey continued when she received the package, because when you make masking tape art, it's like it's so durable. You can actually take it. You can't take a picture out into the wilderness with you. I mean, you can make it or draw it, but once you get it done, you have to kind of bring it back. But this one here, when you make this picture or make the sculpture, you can actually take the sculpture out like I do with my stuff, And so, I'm going to do this without touching any masking tape, so I'm going to see if I can do it. For the most part, though, is when you have, the story behind it. Like for example, like all the times I had Argus with me, right? I have Argus the Greglin with me. And I don't have him with me now, he's at home. But when I take him with me, every place he goes is like significant. All the different ones. For example, I have the one Thanatos Gremlin, and we had him with the Georgia Guidestones, right? And I couldn't sell him when the time came to sell him, because he was such a memory. That was a unique situation. That was a before and after situation. So that's what happens if you don't sell your art. In my case, my art becomes like more part of my situation. So like a Kermit the Frog, If like Jim Henson really couldn't sell the original Kermit, he could sell a copy of Kermit, and the original he'd keep for himself. I don't know if he did that, but Kermit and Jim Henson and Kermit were pretty much one and the same, So he couldn't really sell Kermit. He had to go with Kermit. Had to go with him, and he had to go with Kermit, I don't know if that's like a Venom type thing, where it's, we are Venom kind of thing, where your art becomes your Venom. I don't know, maybe it is. Anyway, long story short, what happens is like you're faced with these things. So I was just saying like about the car, talking about how this thing is here and how the whole scenario is like this car is a really nice car. Let me just show you some of the stuff inside. These are some of the inside. The seats go back. The other car didn't have a seat that go back. Here you have the kids are. I have like one of my dragons just kind of sitting there, kind of sleeping. Then you have like in the back we have the wheelchair. There's a wheelchair for I was saying before, Amy found a wheelchair. I'm going to donate it to a wheelchair rescue place. But they rescue the wheelchairs, they give it to people who need it. And then so pretty much, and I'm wearing my cool shirt. My cool shirt that says, "You can't scare me. You can't scare me." I have 4 kids. So that's my scenario there. And it's been a really good day. I have to admit, it's been a real good day. And a lot of stuff happened. A lot of things have happened so far. And just imagine trying to do this without holding masking tape. It's just kind of the focus of it all. But anyway, nevertheless, so this is we're in Manhattan, and in Manhattan we're just pretty much just kind of like I'm waiting for Amy to get her consultation, And then so we are just like, I might just touch it. I don't actually know. As a matter of fact, I don't have any masking tape rolls with me today, so that's kind of one reason why I have to kind of do this without that, because I thought I had it in this bag over here. So this bag over here, I almost touched the tape. See that? This bag here, I have a bunch of like tape stuff, but so I don't have my tapes with me, and so yeah, you know how it is. So anyway, for the most part, though, this is what I wanted to show you. I just want to show you that this car is really nice. Right now, I'm sitting in the car on a nice temperature. Let me show you some more of the car things too. Let me show you that. I'm gonna flip the camera so you can see it. Okay, this here, right? This is the car situation. This is how many miles. This is like you got a check engine light right there, right? And then pretty much we put some fuel in it, so it's pretty cool. And see, it got like some cool stuff like here, like the music and stuff like that. The other day we had it so high we didn't even know. The air conditioning is fabulous. It's really good air conditioning. And then so yeah, cool. And then so you have that. You have yeah. Here's like a bunch of fuses I was working on. Yeah, these are fuses I had to kind of install and work on. And this thing is really cool. A fuse puller. You can actually test to see which fuel it works and doesn't work. I'm gonna have to go do some work on some of the fuses. And I think yesterday when I went to the house, I put my the thing in there. I put the horn, because see right here, the horn doesn't work, right? So you have to push it. Horn does not work. This is not cool. So near New York City, you need a horn. You really need a horn. And no matter how good of a driver you are, you need a horn. This is like survival. So that's something they're gonna work on. So we have like this, the muting of that. I think there's another part that's supposed to be here. I think the guy took it, but I think it's supposed to be like some kind of like this is like a Bluetooth, so you can actually talk with your phone to the car and all that. So you talk to the phone with the car, and that's something there. Yeah, but for the most part though, that's it's just been like one of those days. So yeah, so just so there you can see this is like some of the cool stuff. Here's the dragon, my Hive dragon, and he glows in the dark, so he's just kind of chilling. And so that's kind of there with that. So yeah, and this is like here we are in Manhattan, and Manhattan's in the medical offices and stuff. Yeah, so this is pretty much what's going on. So yeah, I just want to say that. Thank you so much for watching. There's a lot. My family is really happy. The fact we got this new vehicle now, or newer vehicle. It's we bought it from a guy who bought it from an auction, right? A police auction, and there goes something to say about that, right? Let's talk some things that trouble me. A friend of mine, he wanted me to go to a police auction once upon a time, right? And get a car, and I felt so bad about it because I was like, I feel as though, like, in a sense, the government forced themselves into your life, with regards to this whole registration business. They want you to be part of registration. You have to register your car. So when you do that, it's like, okay, to drive on the road, you have it registered. So, all right, not the fact that you bought it. Okay, maybe the registration has a thing where it doesn't expire, but maybe it's a way to keep tabs. I don't know. It's one of those things where the more you think about it, the more you start wondering, you know what? Do you ever own your car? Turn it low for a second. Turn it off. There's a couple of sounds in the car. And that's one of the things it kind of makes me think about it too. By the way, there's this car has let me show you the steering system. This is how on the car normally you have a car and it's like this, you're pulling it down like that. That's the gear indicator. Well, the gear indicator is this way, so it's like kind of like power to speed. You have this right here, and this engages the thing, puts it out of gear and all that, so you can able to put it in and you crank it down. You see this button right here? There's a plus and a minus. Now, I don't know. I mean, this car is like 14 years old. Okay, it's 14 years old. Let me turn down the air conditioning back on. What happens is the air conditioning is so cool. It's very nice. I'm gonna do circulation, rear control. And anyway, so what happens is when you try to do the shift, you can actually shift up to gear 4. And it's I've been reading the instructions on this thing because I gotta learn this whole new car again. This car it's a new car. It's a whole new thing, and everything I was used to in the other car, But for the most part, though, just getting used to it, getting the hang of it, that's one of those things that that's what you do. So, all right, so that's the thing. So back to the thing, registration, I don't understand it. I was saying I don't understand it because the fact of the matter is when you have, when you're faced with the fact that the government can take your car at any time, pretty much the best thing to do is get your car and drive it on your own land, But then you don't ever own your own land either. You always got to pay to the county. So it's you don't own your land, you don't own your car. You do own your phone, and that's pretty cool. You do own the stuff that you make, but when it comes down to the stuff that you didn't make, or or something you're buying for somebody, you should be able to buy it and be cool, and be done. What ends up happening is that people be like, they have the government be like, I gotta be up in your stuff. Like for example, if you were to get a firearm, do you have to keep registering it and re-registering it, throughout? I don't know. It's one of them things. Anyway, so that's it for now. That's all I can tell you. I got more stuff coming up, more videos, more animations, I think I'm going to be working on. Not to mention more sculptures. I just wanted to talk to you about that. We were like, when we're getting out of there, we realized how the government is just crazy in terms of like, I mean, it makes sense, but the fact you got to pay so much for cars already yours, it's like you keep paying the mortgage. Whether you own the house or not, you keep paying. So I don't quite understand that. Why, if I'm the one who paid the guy cash, I got to pay sales tax too? Isn't that the one who got the money has to pay the sales tax? Why do I have to pay the money on a number that they made up to pay sales tax on a number that they made up? That's something there. So what can you do? Except cry. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you and have a good day. All right, bye-bye.